We all live in a box. It's crazy, right? I'm crazy for standing in a box. But it's what this box represents. This box is our beliefs, it's our principles, it's our experiences. And it's interesting. At the beginning of the summer, this was my box. I had a particular belief that I couldn't lose any weight. It was a challenge, it was difficult. But let me tell you, over the next 4 minutes or 5 minutes, I want to share my story with you on how I was able to get out of this box. 3 steps. Follow along, because it's actually really easy. First, you got to realize that you're in your box. And it's, your box can be confining. It's the principles that you have. It's your family, instilled certain principles in you. There's certain values, there's certain lessons. And it's hard to break out of them, because those people are on the outside of your box. And they're always pushing you back in. So the very first step in getting out of the box is changing your values and your beliefs. But how do you do that? You're limited. You only know so much. You know what you've learned. You know what's out there, what's possible in your own mind. So how do you get new ideas and new values? Well, let me take the first step. Oh, wait a minute. I got a book full of ideas, new concepts, and new ways of breaking out of my box. And actually, sometimes you have to step out of your box a little bit to get those new ideas and values. So back in May, I picked up a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the book. Hands up if you have. Fantastic. Please, as a side note, if you're reading this book, you want to implement some of the ideas, reach out to me because I'd love to share them with you. So anyways, I picked up this book. And there were some ideas and ideologies in here that were different from what I had in myself, different from what I grew up with. And it talks about this concept of playing around or experimenting with different ideas. And the very first experiment, or one of the experiments in here, I think it's on page 176, talks about running a 2-week experiment. Hey, you know what? I want to change an idea, I want to change a belief, I want to lose some weight, but how do I do that? I don't think I can. And if I want to make a long-term change, it's going to be really difficult for me. But 2 weeks, I can handle 2 weeks. Anybody else in the room think they can handle 2 weeks? Changing something very small? So perfect, that's exactly what I did. And for 2 weeks, I changed how I ate. I changed how I consumed food. And it was different. I've been trying to lose weight since last year. So for 8 months, I had a personal trainer. I had, she had me watch my food intake, and I was doing all these things, and I struggled. I got up to 9 pounds, and I couldn't break past that barrier. In my mind, mentally, it was very tough to get to 10 pounds or more. But 9 pounds, hard work, 7 months, and then 1 trip to Vegas put me exactly where I started. And it's crazy, because the 9 pounds it took me 8 months to lose, I gained back in 8 days. So what's the next step? So now you have this idea. You know that you need to change. You got this new philosophy. The next step is having somebody hold you accountable to it. And in July, what really made the change for me is I had a bet with the wife. Actually, she challenged me to, so it's a Sunday afternoon, we're sitting on the couch, she's saying you can never lose weight because of the way you eat. And all you do is you stuff your pie bowl with junk food. And I say, well, I'm going to take that challenge, and I'm going to bet you $250 that I can do it. Not so bad. I didn't want to lose $250, and more importantly, I didn't want her to be right. So the idea of having her hold me accountable made her my accountability buddy. So it was great, because every time I thought about having junk food, every time I went to a party, and I put something that didn't really fit in with what I wanted to achieve, she made sure to point out that I was going to lose my $250 and that she was right. And that was my driving motivator. prove her wrong, win $250. But I also counter-betted her that she couldn't exercise for 30 minutes every day. What was really inspiring is after the 2 weeks, I was no longer in my box. I was somewhere else. I was somewhere different. And I actually lost 10 pounds. And what's been great is now I've created this new box. It's a much bigger box. But that's okay. Because we're still going to be confined by certain principles and ideologies that we're going to have. So what do? Be comfortable in a new space. So step number 2 is accountability buddy, but step number 3 is remember to reward yourself. After 2 weeks, after eating clean, no junk food, no ice cream, and it's summer, it's tough. It's hard not to have beer. It's tough not to go to a party and have a burger. I sat down for 1 full day and ate everything. That was my reward, but that's okay. Because the very next day, I was doing exactly what I did for 2 weeks. So I actually changed the behavior, I changed an ideology, I changed something fundamentally different. Something was fundamentally different inside of me. And now it's been about 7 weeks since this challenge. This 2-week experiment's now run over to 7, and I've lost 13 pounds. Not too bad, eh? Took a little bit of exercise, but really, it taught me to make decisions when they really counted. So it's not that I had to eat perfectly well every single time. It's not that I had to make an entire lifestyle change. I just had to realize every time I sat down to eat, I had to make one decision, and that decision was to eat properly. And as long as I did that, then I was okay. So my question to everybody is, which box are you in? Are you in the small box? Are you in the big box? Are there 3 steps that can make you change your boxes? If the answer is yes, then make sure you go out and try it. Thank you.